We've seen him have so much success on the Corki in LCK. We haven't really seen him play any of the Tristana yet, but when that Corki is taken away, he is prioritizing Illusion. He likes those lane dominant AD carries, or the ones that can, space the lane opponents and aren't, really lacking in range, because Illusion does have the culling, and everyone knows how powerful that spell does get as the game goes on. The only concern I really have with the anti-comp is just the way they were playing yesterday, Skimmy. They were so, foot on the pedal, wanting to attack everything, but, that is not what you want to do when you have a Zyra in the game. You want to play a lot more, vision control, zone control, set up around objectives, make sure you're fighting around the seeds, and you can't just, continually engage all over the map, because the champ just is not good at that. She's not fast, she doesn't follow up dive. Whereas, you look at Fury's comp, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to skirmish all the time. They want to fight as much as possible. And I think that these teams share their identities, down to a T. So I think that Fury have, really drafted more towards what they like to do as a team, how they like to play, that chaos style that they did mention in the interview. So I think that in that sense, they have, done a good job in the draft. But in the sense of a team comp, I think Antic have done much better.
Yeah, it does really scream to me that can we play around Fono to empower him, right? There's nothing worse than planting all your seeds. They can't flourish because the team has just run away from you thinking, well, how can I help now? I'm nothing more but a caster min. Out goes the exhaust onto Draku. We're not even level 2 yet, Tally. And we're already having a bit of a biff here in the bot lane. Hit that wave, hit that minion, get to level 2, then have another stab at things.
That's the exhaust being put on cooldown for Fino there, but no summons being committed from the Antic bot lane. They do have the barrier on the Ezreal, so they have a lot more, all-in pressure, right? The cleanse is mainly for that Lily asleep in that mid game, whereas, you would want to go for the heal or the barrier for a lot more lane power. So they are still getting that push, and that is going to be a favorable trade for Antic in that initial trade in the early game. That's just the power of, Norlis being able to proc, 2 of the 4 stacks from the Kai'Sa passive with that Q at level 1.
Yeah, so easy to stabilize things out, to counteract what an Ezreal and Braum want to achieve. Nice and safe, plenty of protection, skill shot projectiles that can just simply be denied. And a matchup as the viewers also, once again, believing that it is nearly 90% Antic favored. Let's see then, after this draft and after this game, if that does, curb the fan vote in a different direction. But things are getting a little bit cold. You can see the players getting themselves as warm as they can be. A chance to settle into the series.
LCO being
and a chance to, figure out what is the play.
Yeah, and I think the play right now is to just, these junglers want a full clear, right? They do not want to interact when it comes to, salvaging lanes that are in bad scenarios, or, forcing themselves to counter gank. They really just want to, clear, and in that downtime, either look for the crabs or look for some fights. But we see Prey using that priority already to impact the mid lane, but Ray's doing a good job hovering aside.
There certainly is. Instant flash away, making sure that Prey can't find success. Just a single auto, not to be empowered by the Q, is there. So no chance to take him out yet. The flash has been burnt. That's the big one. Does still have that relentless pursuit to rely upon thereafter.
Yeah, still going to be a trade in favor of Raze here. Lucian has a lot more upfront burst, but Prey is staying around, has the flash.
So patient, so persistent, so keen to shut this man down in the mid lane. 3 members get involved. Oh no, Fono waiting for a flash to try and hit the root and deny that. But how do you play safe when only 4 minutes in, you're getting camped by 3?
Yeah, a lot of resources being put into the mid lane there from Fury. They want to make sure that this, AD carry matchup, which is very volatile, is being swung in the way of their team, right? So we see Prey using the 3-way price he got from, his champion counter pick, going towards the mid lane, committing both hook shots and the flash to finding Raze and making sure that he is shut down. It's still going to be an okay, lane state for Raze, right? He did fall down, but he did have control of the lane, and he does find himself an okay first base, right? Not the best, not the worst, but still going to be in a position where he can, win through his prowess on the AD carry.
Certainly can be, right? And I feel like we're still going to be looking at a very similar build where you have your, your Sheen proc into your rapid fire cannon with all that burst that we've seen in the past, but certainly not with the empowerment of a Nami there behind you. Well, here's one. We've got the opinion of Biopanther coming in saying that Antic should win this one 2-1, actually giving a vote in favor of Fury, thinking, yeah, they're just more versed in this meta, and they should just showcase that experience. But I think for me, that is the kicker. Yes, Fury have some spicy picks, but they haven't really had a chance to showcase it tonight in this initial opening game.
Yeah, and I think that being versed, being able to play multiple styles is so important in these best of series especially, and I think it was Harry, who was the only one who predicted correctly on that last series, so, shout out to him. Probably the best player in the region and the smartest man as well, so, securing himself those points for himself, so good job to Harry, and I think that being versatile as a team is so important because, you know, if in this first game, Antic, this is the third time they're running this draft identity, if it just falls flat again, if it just does not work out for them, you know, last time you could have said, oh, and Bliss is such a good team, they can really deal with this, and they just had good answers. But, you know, if they lose to Fury on this sort of comp, they might feel pressured to completely change it up, and that's why being versatile is so nice for them.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see Raze here getting very aggressive, trying to answer a bit of damage into Chirp, but he just simply turns around, plants the explosive shot, hits him a few times, stacks that one up and says, you don't beat me. I am Tristana. I'm a mid laner at this stage for a very good reason. Zominus also under threat as Prey keeps him locked underneath that tower. And with the assistance of Nox and a cheeky little smite to make Prey a bit mad, they will push that wave in. They will give him the base that he's been after.
Level 6 on both mid laners, but this is heavily in favor of Chirp. Foreigner needs to push his wave out to allow Raze to get a reset, because if he is caught in this 1v1, you know, the Tristana ult is front-loaded damage, right? It comes out straight away, it will do that full amount straight away, and Lucian culling is about, you know, damage over time. You need to land all those bullets, and he needs to get out of this position right now. You know, either going to go for the base or he's going to go find the lemons in the river to heal up a bit. This one will be spawning right now, so does get himself, you know, a bit of lane control thanks to Foreigner helping him out here. But Prey is not here, where we see Draco being freed up. They are the first ones to this objective, but there is a level 6 advantage going to Nox right now.
Out of the shadows comes Draco, full combo deployed on Nox's head. He didn't know, he didn't respond, and there's no flash to get himself out of that situation. So as easy as you like it, the better response time from Antic with the more members in the area, and these hooks that continue to land does mean that all three grubs go the way of Antic.
Yeah, we mentioned that we wanted Destiny to be on a champion to allow Draco to roam, right? We wanted to free him up, but, you know, either way, you know, when you're versing Ezreal, you are going to be put in that 1v1 scenario because both supports do want to roam, and Draco, a player who is known to be very good at, you know, finding those timings on these roams. He's been around for a very long time. He's familiar with those scenarios, and he's the first one to the grubs. Nox does not respect that, and even though he does have that little advantage, you cannot survive, you know, a hook landing on your head.
You certainly cannot. So back to back they go. Well, back to lane they should go, I should say, as the Kaiser matchup into the Ezreal. Certainly a nice one for them to just passively farm up and say, you know what, here's your wave, ping pong it back to me, and you take it as a response. But a very calm, measured affair so far. Only 7.5 minutes into this one. A killer piece in all the right places. Yeah, I mean, for Prey, absolutely. Maybe not so much for Draco, but it certainly could help in making sure that he's as tanky as he possibly can be. Prey's going to hit the Hexagon to mate him. Zona says it's my time to go all out. Doesn't take him across the wall. No assassination attempts on this occasion, but it's going to force a bit of a panic flash to try and juke and jive and showcase that, yeah, you might be good, Prey, but it's all hype. I'm the real one, and I am him. Nice little bowling ball, going to be sidestepped out of, but you can't dodge everything. Skill shots galore here in the bot lane. Destiny needs to run for the hill. Supercharge goes out as they knock everybody up with the Fawns. But Fury just simply walk away.
That bowling ball missed by a centimeter. If that one did connect on the Destiny, he already blew that cleanse to get out of the exhaust there. So that would have been the Lilsing blow by going onto him. And a potential kill going onto Nox as well. But Nox does have the flash. I think Destiny might be overstaying here. Very
oh my god, don't die. Don't die to the caster minions. Do not die to the caster minions! 20 HP.
Oh, that would have been a
20 HP.
Clipped, shipped, gift, posted in every single Discord ever known, and one did never ever live down for the rest of your career. So thank God he did live there. Draco once again finding time on the map to, you know, allow some freedom for his mid laner, just making sure his mid laner is able to play the game at all times, being that human ward. And this matchup is so important. It is right now seeing that even position just because there's no AD coming out of Lucian right now. So if these, you know, Qs do land, they're just not doing a lot of damage, whereas Tristana's base damage much higher. So much easier time for Chirp in that mid lane, especially if he does have that, you know, fleet. So he has some sustain in this matchup, whereas Raze, who does not have the damage to all in and really abuse the press attack that he has.
You can see constantly though trading back, but it always is Chirp favoured, and I'm sure it's just going to take that one item spike for it to then flip itself around. Kraken Slayer to come out, you'd imagine, then from Chirp, and curious to see what Raze decides to build first, whether or not he feels that Kraken is the right option, or if the Essence Reaver would be better suited for his first purchase to, you know, patch up those minor issues and really up that damage in those trading profiles. Once again, Nox peeking his head into top lane, but Draco has other ideas. Drop the entire combo onto Hooper. The door goes up. Destiny dashes behind it with the killer instinct. Cops all these turret shots. He nearly dies again. Tally, 20 HP in a dream. This guy's psycho. Draco is the GOAT though. That hook is criminal.
I have not seen a hook miss so far this entire game, and you know, unfortunately Destiny ults in before that wall does go down, so he cannot find that last auto to get the execute onto Hooper. Lives with a minuscule amount of health again, and we saw that Nox was poking his head into the top side. Zonis did not have that all out, so it was a potential gank chance, but now that one is back up, and now that he does have that frozen fist to a Sheen and components of Prey, it's a very tough matchup on this side, or this top lane right now, and will get even, you know, worse as time does go on.
And it is nice to see the Camille get handled right so many times, especially when it was TN playing it week in, week out. We're wondering, what beats this champion? Well, if you have a strong enough answer in the laning phase, you don't need to rely upon jungle ganks and 3v3s to turn it all around. Raze, though, is looking for the culling, and Nox is flashing to safety. No ultimate, no chance to turn it around.
So we see that, you know, Chirp did not match the base of Raze. You know, Raze did base and get those Ninja Tabbies to be able to deal with the pressure that Tristan outputs in lane. Chirp extended his laning phase and gonna be able to find that Kraken Slayer on this buy most likely. So huge power stack for Chirp in the mid lane, and he is going to be that main pain point for Antic right now. He is, and going to be that main boon for Fury. He needs to be enabled by his team. He needs to find those skirmishes with the rest of the members. But another hook lands, but no one to follow up this time.
I just love it. Draku's like an advent calendar. You just open up, oh, what do I find in here today? It's a Nautilus. Why is he here? Like, it's just popping out of a bush. And you're just so confused. Like, how is he on the top half of the map? This guy is roaming like you would not believe. And that's the interesting thing, right? Destiny is here as well. They really want to invest in those grubs. But Hoop is stuck to his guns, staying bot side. So Antic do have all 6 grubs to their name and get a lot of chip damage for free.
This is really nice for Zonis, right? Because I think one of the major win conditions for Fury is their side lane. So, you know, based on this lane state, Zonis is going to be getting a lot of free time in that bot side. Hooper cannot pressure him at all, whereas he can clear the wave, he can farm. This Zonis on this Cassandra is going to be farming up solo experience, whereas, you know, pressure is going on to Prey. He's going to miss out on some CS, he's going to miss out on, you know, as much gold as he could possibly get, but it's still a very, you know, even trade for both teams, right? Objectives being got on bot side, gold being garnered all over the map, and they still have that pride in the mid lane, Fury, so not such a bad scenario. And with Finder being in the back pocket of Prey, there is no dive pressure onto Prey right now.
And it certainly isn't. Freebie then for Fury to pick up that Dragon with the pressure bot, as well as mids. Very hard for Raze to answer back, or at least take control of the lane without any kind of intervention. They are trading even Stevens in terms of the CS, and Chirp will just couple turret shot, and that's all it takes for Raze to say, yeah, out goes the culling. But with Nox constantly hovering, they cannot find much more than that. Foreigner's been on a bit of a jungle expedition himself, farming up a trait, and then says, you know what, let's just poke our head into the top lane and make sure that Prey suffers even more and is unable to find that first item purchase. The hooks, they continue to land. Draku just does not miss, and now plays protection. Peels with the depth charge, says that Hexagon met him. It will do absolutely nothing. Once again, Destiny coming in clutch, covering so much ground with the Killer Instinct, and that's his first kill of the game.
I was going to mention, Skimmy, that I would prefer if Antic, you know, because they can't dive this top side right now, that they use their priority to impact the mid lane and make sure Raze is allowed a bit of freedom in his matchup right now, because it's quite one-sided going in favor of Chirp. But they do, you know, go for that initial dive, blow the wall, make sure there is no denial of that damage that comes forward. The second hook lands, probably another 100% hook rate, hook hit rate. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And yeah, they find the double kill, and that's so good for them. Finding kills onto Destiny allowed to have some pressure in the side lane, but Chirp on this side lane once again getting so much gold.
Yeah, and he's been uncontested, right? Nobody's looked to try and actually challenge him at this stage. It's been hard for Raze to answer back in isolation. Foreigner's not been too keen to entertain it just yet. And I don't think Destiny fares any better up against the Kaiser, especially because you're going to be behind in levels and behind in items. Now a 2-level discrepancy between those two. Doesn't want to do anything that involves Chirp in his lane. And that begs the question, who does challenge him? It is going to be Raze one more time. But this feels like a very macro-heavy game where we're just rotating time and time again. And Chirp, looking in the shadows, was fading at recall. It's the all-in between 280 carries, but the numbers just weren't enough. Raze survives. Foreigner's here, and I think the plants might just get it done.
Yeah, and that's the, you know, the nice thing about Tristana, right? You raise very, very minuscule amount of health. There would have been 20 to 30 health that he had left there. The nice thing about Tristana in that 1v1 is you can throw the ulti out, and it will do that upfront damage with the 200 to 300, whereas, you know, Raze always has to hold his culling. You know, the main advantage of Lucian in this matchup is you can, you know, use that culling at range, but he always has the, Chirp has the jump to outplay that one, so the favor always goes towards the Tristana in the 1v1, even though they do have even items right now in the inventory. It's just much nicer for the Tristana when it comes to those duels.
Another hook, another success rate. He keeps it up. And at this stage, you'll be saying, get off the Nautilus, back onto Blitzcrank, because they just do not miss at this point of the game. But it's nice to see, right? Because Nox, so well known for his full clearing on these AP junglers, is getting outpaced here by Foreigner, who says, well, not only do I have more camps than you, I've actually got more kills than you too. And the Zyra impact is being felt.
Yeah, I think that's just... Oh, I will hold my point as we see the looking on come out, but that is being buffed, Skimmy.
He's going to be buffed out as Zonis will engage that 1v3, goes all out, shreds his own resistances because he wants more damage. Two-man Glacial Fissure, knock them up, but turn it around with the Nautilus. That does just a little bit better. Where are you running, Nox? We have champions that have Season 10 mobility and so much more. Destiny gets that double kill. And he's really coming into his own now on the AD carry position.
Yeah, that's a really nice skirmish by Zonis in particular. You know, using both of the Pathmakers to absorb some sort of CC, right? The first one went into that Lilting Lullaby. The second one went into the Braum passive. So he was avoiding all the lockup the enemy had and bought so much time for his team to collapse. And Nox, strong right now with the Leandries, but if you walk in and you get hit by the Death Charge coming out of Dragoo, you're dead. Pretty much. There's just way too much damage on the side of Antic.
Certainly has been the MVP at this stage so far, has Dragoo. Zonis initially is the one to be caught out, but you just buff for it and then like, uh-oh, we're stuck.
Yeah, you can't put the man to sleep when he holds up his shield, you know. He's had too much sleep already, so you see really nice play by Zonis. Destiny biding on his time, waiting for the initial engage to come out, and then he finds that killer instinct to execute Nox. And Trey, it's too late to this fight, can't find any of the crucial members, doesn't have the damage to execute Destiny on the exit here either, and this Kai'Sa is certainly online with 2 items.
Very strong. Static Shiv, Rage Blade, all you could ask for. I'm certainly going to try and outpace that of the Ezreal that Hooper is working tirelessly towards. Already has the Trinity Force online, 309 stacks of that tier. Miramana not too far away then, you would imagine, as that next purchase. But it does become a case now as to objective control. That all stems from the mid lane, and that's what Antic are winning out as well.
I want to see what Destiny is deciding to max second, because a lot of the time with this AP Kai'Sa, they do like to put points in the W rather than the E because you do have, you know, so much attack speed, but he's deciding to go for that E max second. I think that with the Kai'Sa, you really want to get those 5 points in that, you know, Void Seeker as soon as possible, but it doesn't matter how many points you have in the Void Seeker when you have the Hook Line Sinker from Dragoo.
Doesn't matter when you've got the boys. You know, they group up before and say, you shall not enjoy this game. Nice little TP away. And everybody survives.
Well, okay, that was very interesting. Fido had the ulti, but doesn't want to cancel the TP there. I thought that would have been Raze going down if he did, but you know, just TP's away to this mid lane to cover a part of the map, right? Because his team is on the bot side of the map. He doesn't want to be on the top side by himself, leave that mid tower exposed, and lead himself susceptible to a counter trade on the other side of the map.
Oh my god, look how much value that kill on Prey has actually netted them. They've summoned their Herald, they've completely broken bot lane. It doesn't exist anymore with those 6 scrubs, and it feels like we're a broken record saying it, but just getting those 20 seconds of free time to do as you please, that whole lane's gone.
Yeah, and this is what you know, our top teams in OSA, or like the really good teams in OSA, are known for, right? They know how to win a game. They know how to get as much goals as possible when you know, falter a bit. And we see another gauge coming out, Skimmy.
Jakku once again leading the line, Stranglethorns locks in place Hooper, but he flashes out to safety. Arcane shifts actually, but gets sniped apart by Zonis. He goes all out, says I'm bored, you know what? Target switch time, and takes down Nox instead. And this pressure from Antic really is second to none. And this is such a different look from Zonis, right? We saw him play Cassante in that last game against Bliss as well. He was trying his best to carry that one, but unfortunately, you know, you can only do so much when your team is very far behind. But this, you know, he looks so strong on this champion. It's a tank, which is really nice for his team overall and how the dynamic works. And also, you're watching this team fight, he's a carry as well. He can assassinate these members. You know, he takes Hooper out of the fight completely. A really nice engage from him, and then he finds himself flanking the backline thanks to this all out. And Nox all of a sudden is like, oh, I don't have flash, and there's a really fed Cassante on me. Unlucky. Thank you so much, Hooper, for giving him the taxi service into our backline, basically, right? And now you find yourself down very close to 7,000 and some more. And that is allowing Antic to go back to base and shop it up and, ooh, basically hit that second item power spike. And there you have it. Destiny really is on one right now. There we go. 4-0-4 with nearly 9,000 gold. And I tell you what, if that was any other champion, that hook still lands. The 100% dream, it's over. Yeah, you know what? We'll say it still counts here because he didn't miss it, all right? Hooper dodged it. It's a different case. So we'll say he still has that 100% hit rate when it counts. But Chirp, being a bit overextended here, is going to walk around. He suspects a bit of danger, but just not. Where do you go, Chip? Where do you go? Where do you run to? There's actually nowhere to run to, unfortunately. And for all that strong work in the laning phase, it's the coming together of Antic that's actually able to put it down. But this was, I would say, a bit of an over-rotation scheme. They left their mid tower exposed. Destiny was the one who needs to be here. Does have that cleanser, the Lilting Lullaby does go out. And it certainly does. Gets cleansed out of. Destiny holds his own for a second, but Draku once again with the backup of Foreigner says, who are we focusing down, boys? Who do we kill? They take everybody.
Kill instinct.
They look at Findo. They've already locked in place Nox. And the hook again! Unbeatable. And certainly Draku wants to say, I want this MVP vote. I'm trying my hardest.
Oh, and the Ignite doesn't get him on time. You know, the Ocean Dragon or the Ocean Rift, Lemon save his life. So thank you, Riot RNG, for allowing Nox to get back to base anyway. And probably going to be a 20-minute Baron, as we saw that entire time that fight was happening. Foreigner was pathing over to this Baron, setting up his C's, getting ready for the potential ult cast. He is still holding that one though, so you know, not going to be going down as fast as possible. This is true shot, but Skibby.
Oh, supercharged clutch timing there. You got to dodge the Baron spit. You got to dodge that true shot barrage. You got to dodge everything coming towards you. There is no honey fruit. Destiny's in a bit of trouble right now. Has no sustain. Now has no mana. Not going to be a real contributor if this Baron were to go any further. So rightfully so, they do disengage away from it. And this game is so much in their control. 14 kills to 2. Why take that gamble?
And we see them reset, Skimmy. We don't see them go for that back-to-back play. So this is the discipline we wanted to see out of Antic. You know, they faltered a bit. They went for the Baron play. They, you know, didn't find it. They got shut down and already chunked from that initial or the last play that they did. You know, and now they are resetting and they're going to come back on the map as 5. Zoran is going to go to the bot side of the map to answer Prey. Does have that TP and does win that side lane very hard. So he's completely happy to be down that bot side of the map. But Antic just want to continue to set up for this Baron. I want to see them go for that top side vision control first, as they do have, you know, the outer tower and the inner tower on the top side of the map, so they can get very deep control, push the enemy out of the jungle, and then, you know, you can walk back to that Baron pit and start that objective.
Yeah, they certainly can. Double TPs available for those top laners that are currently sat on the other end of the map. Whether or not it really is the case of starting up the Baron time and time again with a constant threat that, look, this Zyra can just solo it if you leave us to our own devices, or if it's just a case of we want to burn your TPs, we want to always be in control of the macro advantages. There is the full combo dropped on down. The Fury are fully aware of this, guys. They know. And they're setting up. But there's a deep TP flank coming out from Zoranis. Who can he find? That to be matched here by Prey. The Baron's being claimed. Foreigner's secured it. The fight breaks out. Findo's the focus. Nox goes down. Findo limps away, but Zoranis takes him despite being exhausted. And there's Ntofo strikes just at a range from clutching at Chirp instead. Raze then dashes at Hoop and says, did you miss me in the bot lane? I bet you did! But they trade 1-for-1.
I just got some Raze versus Kazi flashbacks. Anyone remembers from Wills where he, you know, did a bit of BM and fell down 1-for-1 there. So, you know, there is that Hooper trade onto Raze, so they do get some shutdown, they do get some semblance of a trade. But, you know, the reason why they felt so comfortable to start that Baron team is Nox does not have flash. You cannot get into the pit. There is no blast cone. That one was denied. A very easy setup for them, you know, with Draken constantly playing the flank, sitting in these bushes and fighting these dredge lines. It's such an easy setup for them.
Fantastic siege as a result then, utilizing the fact that you're down for a good 20 seconds. We've not only opened up the mid lane, we've crushed the top lane, taking that inhibitor, and all that great work 10 minutes prior exposing bot lane. Antic are working step by step closer to that checkmate position.
Yeah, absolutely, but this dragon is up. This is a, you know, objective bounty, so this is going to be some gold going towards Fury if they're able to secure this one. But Raze does have the TP, throwing that one to mid lane. The members are coming on the map from Antic. They might not get the objective, but they are certainly ready to fight, especially with Draco going to the wall here.
True shot tries to try and back it up. That's to be claimed by Nox. Steady hands this time around. Nox has to try and fight his way out of this dragon pit, though. He's been completely separated from the rest of the team. Pounced upon by 3 members. It seems like a done deal. The hook buffered against the wall in an awkward terrain. He might, with the innate mobility as a Lilia, be able to gallop himself to safety.
Didn't see him run down. They do not have vision on him right now, so unfortunately we can see the Krogs, but Destiny cannot. So they lose control of where Nox went, so it's going to be him getting the reset off after he steals the camp. So Nox is quite happy with himself there. But it's going to be the siege onto the, you know, the last standing very low towers of Fury. And I think this is going to be a triple inhibitor going down and potential game end if Draco does find these clutch hooks that he keeps landing.
Yeah, that's all it's going to take. 1 kill and the game is done. Those minions with the Baron buff on top of that tally, it is so hard to try and get it out of that. As the hook goes out, that baits out Final with the shield. The True Shot Barrage comes on too. That's a big cooldown that they need to rely upon. Stuck in such a rough spot is Prey, who hits the Hextech Ultimatum, but that is simply not enough. The experiment of split pushing hasn't panned out for them. 1 and 5 now. As Antic, look, Draco, it came down to the very last moment. No. The perfect record has to be broken right at the end there. But this is looking like Antic wanting to wrap things up. And in a very clean fashion, Tally, 25 minutes, 21 kills. Something big needs to change or Fury getting sent home.
Yeah, and that's the the great thing about best of series. Fury can go back and be like, all right, guys, we tried this approach. We do have different weapons in our arsenal that we can prepare for the next game. So let's change it up, because what we saw right now, even though Fury had a nice early game, especially Chirp on that 1v1 in the mid lane, it didn't matter. The Antics map play, Antics team play was overall, just way better, and they just overcame pretty much every obstacle Fury was putting in their way.
And they certainly did. They had the priority pick, they had the pick of the litter, and said, you know what, Raze, we're going to try and make you as uncomfortable as you